Creatures in Minecraft can be generally grouped into 3 overarching categories: passive, hostile, and neutral. Hostile mobs such as zombies, skeletons, and creepers will always target and attack you. Go check out our dedicated episodes for hostile mobs if you haven't already. In a league of their own, boss mobs like the Wither, whom we defeated in episode 10 of our survival guide series, and the Ender Dragon, slated for its own spotlight in a future episode, present unique challenges. Neutral mobs will attack you when provoked or under certain conditions. This list includes piglins, zombified piglins, endermen, regular spiders, cave spiders, untamed wolves, bees, llamas, pandas, polar bears, naturally spawned iron golems, dolphins, and goats. Be careful when dealing with these mobs should they hit you by surprise. Passive mobs, on the other hand, pose no threat to players and refrain from retaliating when attacked. This includes villagers, farm animals, rideable mobs, domesticated pets, and most aquatic mobs. Previous guides have already discussed the intricacies of villagers and farm animals. Today our focus is on the valuable passive and neutral mobs in the game, including those which can be ridden, tamed, or enlisted to aid you in your adventures. Venturing into the wild, you'll encounter wolves in taigas and forests. These natural hunters have a penchant for targeting skeletons, sheep, rabbits, and foxes. Beware, for if you harm a wild wolf, it will swiftly turn its aggression towards you. You can tame a wild wolf by feeding it bones until you see heart particles float up. Once tamed, a wolf can be commanded to sit or follow the player by right-clicking. Tamed wolves will continue to pursue skeletons, but are now neutral towards sheep, rabbits, and foxes. Their loyalty extends solely to their owners, meaning you cannot coerce another player's tamed wolf to follow you, let alone assist you in combat. Tamed wolves can be commanded to attack most mobs the owner engages with a few exceptions: creepers, ghasts, tamed horses, and tamed cats. These loyal companions, however, can only focus on one target at a time, often coordinating their efforts as a pack when multiple wolves are in play. They also automatically retaliate against any mob that threatens their owner unless ordered to stay put. Their teleportation ability allows them to swiftly close the distance if you move more than 12 blocks away, a lifesaver in dire situations like rescuing a tamed wolf from lava or high cliffs. Make them sit if you don't want them interfering with your mining session or if you think they could fall off dangerous terrain. A tamed wolf's health status is indicated by the angle of its tail, pointing upward at full health and gradually drooping as it sustains damage. You can heal a tamed wolf by feeding it with any of the following meat products. If both tamed wolves are at full health, you can breed them using meat products, resulting in a tamed wolf offspring. Give your loyal companions unique identities with name tags and personalize their neck collars with dyes to distinguish them further. Cats are a charming presence in villages, gracefully strolling along dirt roads and curiously exploring animal pens. To tame a cat, you need to slowly approach a cat while holding a raw salmon or cod. Careful though, any sudden movements or attempts to chase them may startle them, causing them to bolt away. The key is to follow the stray cat discreetly and wait for it to approach you. Once you got its attention and it paused near you, slowly move your pointer on the cat and feed it some raw salmon or cod. Hearts will float up and the cat will sit to indicate that it has been tamed. Similar to tamed wolves, tamed cats can be directed to sit or stand, responding exclusively to their owner's commands. While they won't directly engage mobs targeted by the player, they do provide a valuable service by deterring creepers and phantoms. Creepers maintain a 6-block distance from any cat, while phantoms keep a cautious 16-block buffer. At night, when you retire to sleep, tamed cats can curl up nearby and occasionally bestow gifts in the morning. a collection of items they've stumbled upon while you slumber. If you slept during a thunderstorm, cats won't be able to gather and present gifts in the morning. Cats commanded to sit will remain seated and will likewise not present gifts. Cats can sit on chests and make them unusable until the cat steps down from it. Just like tamed wolves, if a tamed cat is trailing you and you venture more than 12 blocks away, it can teleport to your side instantly. Cats can be bred with raw salmon or cod, and they can be healed if hurt by the same food items. Express your cat's individuality by coloring their collars with dyes, and there are currently 11 cat variants you can collect. A witch hut found in swamp biomes is always guaranteed a black cat on creation. Horses can be found traversing the open landscapes of plains, savannas, and occasionally residing in village pens. With a whopping 35 variants at your disposal, generated through combinations of 7 base colors and 5 patterns, there's no shortage of diversity in the equine world. Horses have 3 main attributes: speed, jump height, and health. These attributes are random and no particular appearance can point you to the better horse. You'll need to saddle up and ride a tamed horse to truly gauge its prowess. To tame a horse, take an empty hand and right-click to mount it. The horse will buck you off and you'll have to repeat mounting the horse until hearts appear, signifying a successful taming. Once tamed, you can equip your trusty steed with a saddle to gain control over its movements. Saddles cannot be crafted but can be found inside loot chests, fished out from the sea, dropped by ravagers, or traded from certain villagers. Your XP bar transforms into the horse's jump bar indicator, and the hunger bar becomes the horse's health gauge. Use the WASD keys for movement and the space bar for jumping. For an elevated jump, hold down the space bar to charge it, releasing for a higher leap. Horses can sprint at speeds up to 14.23 blocks per second, with an average speed of 9.49 blocks per second. They can leap as high as 5 blocks and boast a maximum health of 30 hearts. Minecraft's recent updates have introduced long-anticipated changes to horse breeding, allowing you to create the ultimate equine companion by pairing the best with the best generation after generation. Breeding requires feeding 2 horses a golden apple or golden carrot. Foals or baby horses can have their growth accelerated by offering them a variety of food items, which also double as a means to heal them, although horses have passive health regeneration. Additionally, horses can be equipped with horse armor, available in leather, iron, gold, and diamond trims, each offering better protection in the same order. Leather horse armor can be crafted, while the others can be discovered in loot chests scattered across the world. Horses can navigate water up to 2 blocks deep, but beyond that, you'll be needing leads to pull them through after they dismount you. Now, let's turn our attention to donkeys, close cousins of horses who also roam plains, savannas, and meadows. Donkeys can be tamed and saddled like horses, but lack the option for additional armor protection. They move and jump at a more leisurely pace than horses, but make up for it with the ability to carry a chest containing 15 inventory slots. Equip the donkey with a chest by holding down Shift to sneak, then right-click. You can access this inventory while riding the donkey by opening your inventory or by pressing Shift and right-clicking the mouse button while facing the donkey. Taming donkeys follows the same method as horses. Mount them repeatedly until hearts appear. Breeding donkeys also requires golden carrots or golden apples. Breeding donkeys doesn't enhance their movement speed or jump height, as they are spawned with identical stats, except their health. For those seeking the best of both worlds, consider crossbreeding a horse and a donkey to produce a mule. Once tamed, mules can be outfitted with a saddle and chest. Unlike donkeys, mules can achieve superior movement speed and jump height, inheriting these attributes from their horse parent. However, mules cannot be bred with other mules, just like in real life. To create the finest mule, choose your best horse as the breeding partner for your donkey. To prevent horses, donkeys, and mules from wandering off, secure them with a lead attached to a fence. To release the lead, simply right-click on the fence again. Camels are tall, rideable creatures that only spawn in desert villages. Only one camel spawns per desert village, so you'd best hope for another village nearby if you aspire to breed these majestic creatures. Camels can be equipped with a saddle to control its movement. They can walk on water as deep as 3 blocks and can walk over 1.5 block high obstacles like fences. They walk slowly, but they can sprint 12 blocks forward. Hold down the spacebar to charge and release to dash forward. This unique camel ability enables you to clear ravines or large gaps in the terrain. While riding camels, most hostile mobs won't be able to reach you, save those arrows from skeletons or the tall enderman once provoked. To breed 2 camels, feed them a piece of cactus each. And did I mention that 2 players can embark on a camel adventure simultaneously? It's double the fun, exploring the world atop these magnificent creatures. Up the wind-swept hills and forests we can find these llamas. You can tame a llama by repetitively riding them until hearts appear, much like how you tame horses. Unlike other rideable companions, llamas don't sport saddles, nor can you dictate their movements directly. Instead, you can adorn them with vibrant carpets crafted from wool sheared from sheep. These carpets not only enhance their aesthetics, but also allow you to identify and customize your llama friends. To steer a llama's course, simply attach a lead and a curious procession will form, as all nearby llamas willingly follow the leashed one in a colorful caravan. Up to 9 other llamas can trail the lead llama, and should your caravan need reinforcements, just secure another llama with an additional lead to extend your entourage. Untamed llamas are peaceable but retaliate by spitting on any mobs or players that dare to provoke them. Among their few natural adversaries are untamed wolves. Llamas can be bred by feeding them hay bale. While we've already explored the role of pigs in our ranching guide, these oinkers have more to offer than just a source of delectable sustenance. With the aid of a saddle and a carrot on a stick, you can mount and ride pigs. The carrot on a stick serves as your steering wheel, allowing you to guide their general direction and even fly a short distance. Sorry, pig. I just needed that achievement. Rabbits spawn in deserts, taigas, meadows, cherry groves, and snowy biomes. They are prey to wolves and foxes and are unable to sprint away fast enough, even with their strong, jumping legs. Rabbits can be bred with carrots, golden carrots, or dandelions. Their meat, when cooked, provides a satisfying meal or can be used to concoct a hearty rabbit stew. Occasionally, a rabbit will yield a foot when dispatched, which comes in handy for brewing potions of leaping, a topic we delved into during episode 9 of our guide series. In mushroom fields, we can find these red mushrooms, which can be milked with a bucket and bred with wheat. They drop raw beef and leather when killed, just like the regular cows. But unlike cows, you can use a wooden bowl on a mushroom to get instant mushroom stew. A red mushroom can be sheared of its mushrooms to convert it into a regular cow. When struck by lightning, a red mushroom turns into a brown mushroom, which behaves exactly like the red version, with one exception. Feeding a brown mushroom with a flower from this list yields a suspicious stew when milked with bowl. This process has to be repeated with every serving you make. Among the intriguing denizens of swamp and mangrove swamp biomes, you'll find the delightful frogs, which come in 3 distinct variants: temperate, warm, and cold. Their appearance depends on the location where they spawn or where their tadpoles hatch into adulthood. Breeding frogs is an engaging process that involves the use of slime balls. One of the frogs will lay frog spawn on a water block, and these eggs will hatch into tadpoles before maturing into adult frogs. For the avid collector, relocating tadpoles to different biomes can yield all 3 frog variants. Here are some of the biomes where you might be interested in growing your frogs to complete your frog family. Frogs attack small slimes to yield slime balls. If you can get a small magma cube to interact with a frog, they will drop a frog-light color coated with the attacking frog variant. These frog lights serve as aesthetically pleasing light source blocks, perfect for adding that extra touch of ambiance to your creations. They do emit the same light color unless modified by shaders or ray tracing graphics. Turtles are aquatic creatures you can find basking on the sand or swimming near the seashores of your world's beaches. They are probably the only mobs in the game that never forgets their home location and will always try to lay their eggs on the same home beach where they were born. To breed turtles, give them seagrass, and one of the pair will go to shore and lay eggs on the sand. These turtle eggs are vulnerable to hostile mobs as they attempt to trample and break them. Secure these eggs because you'll have to wait around 5 Minecraft days for them to hatch. That's around an hour and 40 minutes, and I did not even get a chance to record them hatching. When baby turtles mature, they drop scutes which can be crafted into a turtle shell, a helmet which provides water breathing for 10 seconds. This turtle shell is also an ingredient in potion making, full discussion of which is in a previous episode. The rivers and oceans can also spawn fishes, dolphins, squids, and glow squids. Regular squids drop ink sac when killed, which can be crafted into black dye for coloring a multitude of items in the game. Glow squids drop glow ink sacs, which can be applied to item frames to make them more visible in the dark, or to text on signs and hanging signs to make them more readable even at night. Dolphins are lovable creatures which love to play around players, leaping out of the water and tossing floating items around. When you sprint while swimming, a nearby dolphin can boost your speed and may continue to follow you to continually reset this effect. Dolphins cannot be bred, but if you feed them raw cod or raw salmon, they will lead you to the nearest treasure chest in shipwrecks, ocean ruins, or coastlines. Fishes have 2 general groups: the common salmon and cod, which spawns in rivers and oceans, and the vibrant tropical fishes, which can only be found in warm oceans. Pufferfish also spawn in warm ocean variants with tropical fishes. There are 2,700 different colors and shapes of tropical fishes. To take home any of these fish variants for your own aquarium or fish pond, use a water bucket to scoop them up. Fishes are generally harmless, save the pufferfish which inflict poison when approached closely or when eaten. Yet pufferfish have their own unique utility. They are used in alchemy to make potions of water breathing. Foxes are nocturnal animals found in taigas and groves. They sleep under the shade during the day and explore under the moonlight at night. They attack chickens, rabbits, and fishes, and they love the sweet berry bush in their home biome. Adult foxes cannot be tamed but can be bred to produce a kit that trusts the player. This is a tricky endeavor to take because foxes will quickly sprint away from a player, use leads to secure the 2 foxes, and feed them sweet berries or glow berries. Their offspring will trust the player, but will continue to follow adult foxes, necessitating the use of leads to move them. Unlike tamed wolves or cats, foxes that trust the player do not follow their owner independently, so keep that lead handy until you've secured them in their new habitat. Foxes exhibit a curious habit of carrying random items in their mouths, even picking up dropped items like weapons or tools. When presented with multiple choices, they prioritize food over other items. High up in mountainous biomes, agile and boisterous goats frolic about. These creatures come in 2 distinct variants, the standard goat and the more raucous screaming goat. Breeding goats is as simple as offering them wheat, and they can be milked with an empty bucket. What sets goats apart is their ability to ram non-moving mobs. Upon impact, the targeted mob is propelled horizontally by a staggering 9 blocks, a potentially perilous situation amidst the rugged terrain of the mountains. If a ramming goat hits a solid block that is naturally generated in the world, the goat could break and drop one of its horns. Goat horns can be blown by the player to produce unique tunes that can be heard up to 256 blocks from the source. In the jungles, we can find the colorful parrots. There are 5 variants, and you can tame them using any type of seed in the game. Once tamed, they respond to commands to sit or stand and explore their surroundings. Similar to tamed wolves and cats, tamed parrots can teleport to you if you venture more than 12 blocks away, provided they are not already perched. When they take a liking to your company, they may even rest on your shoulders, gazing in the same direction as you. When parrots are within 3 blocks of a jukebox playing a music disc, they dance. Parrots also mimic the sound of hostile creatures they detect within 20 blocks, although that monster may have been long gone before they mimic the sound. It's a good warning, but could falsely keep you on your toes in other times. As advised in early episodes, never feed cookies to your parrots. In the jungles, you can also find pandas. They can be bred with bamboo, and the baby variants can, in rare occasions, drop a slime ball. Jungles also house ocelots, larger wildcats which sprint away from players. You can gain their trust by feeding them raw salmon or cod, but apart from that, you can't really take it home. They also scare creepers and phantoms, and you can use a lead to move them around. But in any case, cats are more useful in my opinion. We have tackled bees twice in previous episodes. As a review, you can breed them using flowers, and they collect nectar to produce honey inside their bee nests. You can safely collect their products by placing a campfire beneath their nest to produce smoke to calm them down. Use an empty glass bottle to get honey, or shears to get honeycomb. Honeycomb can be used to make your own beehives to grow your bee population. Honeycomb is also an ingredient for making candles to light up your birthday cakes or just to get a certain look in your builds. Bee nests and beehives can be safely broken using an axe with silk touch to prevent bees from attacking you. Axolotls are aquatic mobs that require water at least 2 blocks deep to survive. They live in lush caves and can be found swimming in pools of water, occasionally venturing onto dry land, but returning to water within a few seconds. They can only survive a maximum of 5 minutes outside of water and will attempt to look for a 2-block deep water source to get back to. Axolotls despawn when a player leaves the area unless they were previously scooped up in a water bucket. To take home one of these adorable creatures, use a water bucket to pick one up and set them free again in an area with adequate water for survival. Be careful not to place down axolotls inside your aquariums because they naturally hunt aquatic creatures like fish and squids. The only aquatic mobs they don't attack are dolphins, frogs, and turtles. In combat, axolotls prove their mettle by targeting drowned and guardians, offering their assistance in the heat of battle. When severely injured, axolotls have a clever trick up their gills. They play dead, allowing them to recuperate health passively. Additionally, they grant you the regeneration effect if you engage in combat against a mob that was also targeting the axolotl. Axolotls can be bred using buckets of tropical fish, and there are 5 variants to collect, including the ultra-rare blue variant, which has a spawning chance of only 1 in every 2,000 breeding attempts. Alleys are pint-sized floating companions that you can rescue from pillager outposts or woodland mansions. In pillager outposts, they can be found inside dark oak cages, while in woodland mansions, they can be imprisoned inside cobblestone cells in the basement. To earn an allay's trust and make it follow you, give it any item to hold. It can follow you within a 64-block cubic area and are good at pathfinding back to you. These resourceful creatures shine when it comes to fetching items. They can snatch a matching item within a 32-block cubic area around you and promptly deliver it back to your feet. You cannot accidentally or intentionally hit your own allies because they are immune to friendly fire. If hurt by other sources, they can fly away and heal using their passive health regeneration. Swapping an item for an ally to pick up is a cinch. Simply retrieve the old item with an empty hand and swiftly replace it with a new one. While allies cannot be bred, they can be duplicated through a rather magical process. Lead your ally close to a jukebox, set the mood with a music disc, and give it an amethyst shard. The ally will break into a joyful dance, emitting heartwarming particles, and voila, duplication is achieved. The amethyst shard is consumed in the duplication process. Sniffers are large creatures which can never be found spawned naturally anywhere, but can only be hatched from sniffer eggs found inside suspicious sand in some warm ocean ruins. To get these sniffer eggs, you'll have to diligently brush off suspicious sand in these ruins until you get a sniffer egg. You can place it down on any block to hatch, but placing it on moss block will cut the hatching time in half of around 10 minutes. The snifflets will need time to grow, and it's a long waiting time of 40 minutes or about 2 Minecraft days. Once mature, they wander around sniffing for ancient seeds. When they discover one, they promptly dig into the ground, unearthing either a torchflower seed or a pitcher pod. Torchflower seeds are essential for breeding sniffers, while both torchflower seeds and pitcher pods can be planted on farmland to yield their respective torchflowers and pitcher plants. Sniffers can only dig out ancient seeds from the following blocks, and they will refrain from digging on the same site for the last 20 locations it remembers. In the Nether, hoglins emerge as delectable sources of sustenance. You can find them in the red crimson forests or inside bastion remnants. They are afraid of planted warped fungi, even potted ones, and will run away from them. Hoglins hold a unique distinction in the game as the only naturally occurring hostile mobs that can be bred. When killed, they drop pork chop and leather. You cannot bring these hoglins back into your overworld base because they will turn into zoglins after crossing dimensions, aside from the fact that they are also afraid of nether portals. Within the Nether, you'll also encounter striders, the closest counterparts to horses in the overworld. Unlike their equine counterparts, striders require no taming. To ride and steer these peculiar creatures, equip a saddle and wield a warped fungus on a stick. Oops, my bad. The game thinks it's more like a boat than a horse. Striders can be bred using warped fungi to create baby striders. Sadly, the only way to retrieve your saddle after a lava trip is to kill the strider. So, think twice before paying for that ride. And that's a wrap for today's episode on the helpful passive and neutral mobs in the game. Whether you're fighting alongside wolves, discovering vast landscapes with your trusty horse, enjoying a night walk with your cats, or even riding camels across desert dunes, these creatures make your adventures truly extraordinary. Thank you for tuning in today. I am Xben Sage. Keep crafting, keep exploring, and see you again next time.